Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm building a old house, or a house that looks kind of old. That was at least the goal that I had in mind. And as you can see, I'm already finished with the shell and now I'm roofing it. And I looked at a picture and I basically replicated what I saw in the picture. And as you can see, I needed to hide some parts of the roof so it actually looks okay. So the front part with the octagonal shaped room had the roof was too large for that area, so I needed to create a bump out on the second floor for that problem area that I had. And I also put down a chimney to make that side a little bit more interesting. And I chose the shingles that are a little bit crooked because I thought an old house would have crooked shingles. And yeah, it made sense in my mind, so I decided to use it. And I also used stone for the octagonal bit, and I used a little bit of paneling for the upstairs on the left and also the bump out in the back. And then I put down some columns. I also raised up the build a little bit. I didn't want it to be raised up all that much because I didn't want to have to use stairs, because then I couldn't do the front door where I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be at the left side of the octagonal, and if I would have needed to use stairs, I couldn't make the entrance there because the small porch that I created would have had to have a space where there's enough like space that isn't on a diagonal. So yeah, I managed to do it like that with just raising it up one. Now I'm already painting the inside, the floors, and also afterwards the walls. And I did the floor plan already, and I put down a bunch of doors so you can actually go inside the rooms. And I used the outside walls inside where it made sense. So for example, downstairs in the right hand corner I used the brick that I used outside and at that wall. So it's basically like I just didn't put anything in there. And I also used the wood paneling but in a different color, so they just painted it some other color. And also the brick for the outside I used inside in the octagonal bit. Now I'm putting down the kitchen, and as you can see it's quite a brown kitchen, brown and grey, and that was the general color scheme that I had going on, brown, grey and a little bit of beige, because I wanted it to look a little bit old-timey and not as colorful as some of the modern builds that I did. And now I'm in the living room and I've already done the dining area really. It's not really a room in itself, it's in the entrance area. And then I moved up to the second floor and I put down some desks with some computers in the office space that I had. And then I noticed that I really didn't have any space for a bed in the bedroom that I wanted, so I decided to make the room a little bit larger and sacrifice some space in the office. And for that I needed to put the chess table outside. And as you can see, there's a little bit of clipping with the roof from the octagonal bit into the bathroom, but I just ignored it and did it like I wanted to anyway. I could have changed the floor plan a little bit so it wouldn't clip, at least I think so, but I wasn't sure and I just decided I want to do it like this, so I kept it how I wanted it to be. And downstairs I had a half bath with just a toilet and sink and some storage area. And I also put down a railing. I actually wanted to make it like an open part, but that didn't really work because the clipping would have been much worse. So I decided to make that small area into a storage area with a kitchen cabinet as like the filler for that. Now I'm putting down a bunch of windows. I've already put down some in the octagonal bit right at the start, but I wasn't sure for the rest of the house how I wanted everything to look, and I just waited with the windows until I was sure how it looked. Then I moved back the house on the lot, so it's less backyard to fill up, honestly, because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do in the backyard. I knew that I didn't want a pool, so yeah, I had difficulties to imagine what else I could actually put down. But I put down some trees on the lot in general, and then I created a path to the front door and also into the backyard, and I put down some terrain paint for that. And as you can see, I first used the dirt terrain paint, and over that I laid the stone path that we have access to. And I also had like a little porch in the front where the trash cans are, so I needed to create a path to that as well. And then I was just landscaping around the path that I created, and I'm putting down the lilac violet flowers that I really like. I like using them. There are two different, well, kinds. The one that is just one bush kind, and the one that is more like elongated, and I like that. And you can also size it down quite nicely, so there's more variation, and I really like using them, and I think they give like a subtle pop of color without being too manicured, but also not too wild. I like using them. And of course I also use the low-lying flowers because they are really, well, helpful as well, because they fill the area without being any kind of color that is offensive or just weird to use, and I like using them. Then I moved back inside and I put down some decorations, and as you can see, I just moved from room to room wherever I thought, okay, here I need something for the walls, or I need something else for the kitchen, some appliances sometimes as well, but mainly decorations. And I put down some rugs as well. At first I didn't really know what I would do in the bedroom because the shape is so weird, but I just used a square rug under the bed. And then I put down a bunch of curtains, and as you can see, I had difficulties choosing at first, because I really like using the ones that I did end up using, but they don't look as old-timey as the ones that I chose first. But the ones that I chose first just didn't really work, except in the bedroom. So I decided to use the dorm panels, I think they are called, anyway, because they fit nicely enough and I really like using them. I use them a bunch. Now you can see some screenshots of the build. I hope you like it. You can download it from the gallery. My ID is TGGSims, same as my YouTube channel name. I also hope that you liked the video and will consider pressing the thumbs up button and subscribing. Thanks very much for watching and have a great week. Bye!